what is Nico doing? He keeps on getting the entry on us towards the B-bomb side. Well, yeah, he's coming out, you know, either through door or through the sewer area, you know, from T-spawn. Like, okay, so have you tried to push him? You know, what are you trying to do to just make sure that this doesn't happen? Oh, you know, we're just playing it defensive on the B-bomb side. Okay, so he can just rush up and kill you. Yeah,
Suez take, man. We see that, right?
Yeah,
Suez takes.
Yeah,
that
they haven't seen
job.
that yet. You know, smoke from CT spawn and just rush it, you know, throw one flashbang over and just make sure he's not allowed to get there. Because look at him again, Nico. Just playing so aggressive.
Oh no. Oh no, this could be bad. He's past the smoke. He's going to take down Davkos. The trade comes in, but still, Mousesports are loving that.
Yeah, for sure. But then again, this is the classic, like, the default run you see from Mousesports as well. If FlipSid have somewhat of an idea, then they should actually know now that, you know, perhaps they don't have anyone more there, so they can actually try to take a gamble like they did on the pistol round and just fall back, or on the eco round. Sorry.
All right. Well, I mean, Mousesports, they're deciding to just go for a bit of a pressure towards perhaps even the execute. Let's see what they can get done. They have a lot of time actually to play with, so they can even. That's they don't have anyone in sewers, so the double back potential is not really open to them. Well, I guess it is, but it would be blind, so not necessarily too advisable. So they do seem right now quite committed towards this A push.
Yeah, but I really like the rotation coming in from FlipSid here. So you do have the kind of same scenario. Now Blade is actually falling back again, though. He was really close to the A bomb side.
It's definitely harder to retake A than B, so it would make a lot of sense in this situation of unknowns. And what it is, playing very close to this smoke. He's going to spot the shadow through smoke. Oh, he does finally get the kill with the last bullet onto Dennis. Bondic picks up one on the defense against Chris J. In goes next over the train. He's got to do everything by himself. Blade is down. There's 15 seconds to play with. And next, they're not going to show themselves. 1 versus 3. He's got no HP. 1 point of health is left. He'll find the kill onto World Edit somehow. But still, Markov and Bondic are there. Next, no, absolutely not. He's going to find Bondic. Markov will finally just run the clock down and finish off next. But that was so much economic damage. That should never have happened.
Yeah, and I think we changed the camera angle there. When Nex was actually in a one-on-one, it was like 2 seconds left. He could potentially have won the round. But yeah, okay, yeah, so you guys at home know, he actually ended up getting killed after the time has ended by Bondic. But yeah, that was close. Nex.
That was ridiculous. I mean, he got like 2 or 3 more frags than he ever should have gotten in that round. He's on 20 kills.
Yeah, after 9 rounds. And I mean, then you see as well, what we were talking about Dennis, you know, having, you know, issues with tonsillitis, and, you know, he's not really having a good game, which is understandable. But for sure, like, I wouldn't really want to be sitting there playing when I don't feel good. We do have a technical pause here, though, coming in.
Okay, well, we can talk a little bit about some of the strategy in this match.
I was going to say, with this technical pause, this is perfect for FlipSid. It's basically like a free timeout for them. You know, they just ended up winning their first round of the game. Now they can actually just take some time and talk about, okay, well, what are they actually doing? Like, what can we do to counter them right now? Or like, what are we doing bad? What can we do better? And then on top of that, so you have a free timeout now. And let's say you talk about it, and I don't know, in 4 rounds or whatever, or even switching over to their T side, they can have another one.
And let's think about firstly, like, what do they actually have right now? Because those series of frags from Next were ridiculous, right? That actually cripples them massively, because now they've got no money, even though they won the round.
Just look at the money. Yeah, like you're saying, they won the round, but all of them died except for 1, and they're all sitting between 3.3 to 3.9K.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Best case, you got FAMAS in your hands.
If you want the nades, yeah. So then, you know, on top of that, let's say you do end up losing this 1 round, then you're potentially just gonna go and earn some money on the streets. You know, you're not gonna be able to pay that mortgage, and then you're gonna have to. I mean,
have you ever done any busking? Busking, you know, on the streets. I know you're musically talented. Oh, you don't know what it means?
No.
It's like, you know, when you go on the streets playing a musical instrument, just for money, well, not necessarily for money, but it's like, you know, practice on the streets, see if people like you.
Oh, is that what people do to make money on the streets?
Yeah, you play some instruments. Although you can also play traffic cones. I've seen people playing traffic cones in London. It's very common. Very common. But actually, one of the interesting things in this situation, because, you know, we're talking about this money problem, because this is a really huge, like, Nex's kills there that changes a lot of what FlipSid can actually do. And we were talking about the Suez thing. It does feel like Nico is the thing that you should be able to maybe exploit, because he's the fastest paced player. So and as you mentioned, we haven't really seen the Suez takes, and that's what has been abused by Mousesports. FlipSid seem kind of comfortable going for sometimes into connector, sometimes down toilets and so on, but we've never really seen them in Suez, and that would be the obvious aggression for them to try to take control and get a fast frag and then maybe fall back afterwards.
Yeah, and it's actually a very safe, aggressive play as well, because you smoke it off and you only need to take that one area, and it's not like you can get shot from multiple angles, because the only thing you need to be sure of is, okay, we got to keep track of the door, and then once we have that smoked off, the sewer area smoked off, then we're pretty much safe, and then we just show them that, yeah, we are here to contest the area. Whereas if you, for example, if you're FlipSid and you want to go aggressive on A, you end up peeking mid, then you can get shot from both sewers, and you will just end up getting flanked, essentially, if Mousesports has a decent default. So just going aggressive B every single time until Mousesports have an answer for it, that's what you want to do, because you saw Nico there, he ended up going to the sewer, but last round he just ended up going towards the B bomb right away, and that just shows that FlipSid, they're not contesting anything, so it just lets Nico roam around as much as he wants, and you can't really let that happen.
I mean, the only other thing that they could do other than that is going really passive and not taking risks and forcing Mousesports to execute onto the site. But then the problems is that you don't have very good equipment. Sure, you'll have some nades to maybe counter flash and so on, but generally speaking, they're going to have way more grenades because they didn't spend all the grenades cleaning out the map and slowly building positioning. So they get that for free because of your chosen strategy. So then the problem is that you have to hold a FAMAS, and then but you don't know what's going on. And I mean, we did see some good understanding of rotation from FlipSid before, when they were like, okay, we're a man down, we can't take a risk. We feel like we can't take a risk aggressively. We're going to kind of stack towards A. Although I don't know that they actually end up doing it, but that's in theory quite good, because B is much easier to retake than A. A is a nightmare.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, especially if you don't have map control. So if you do decide to stack B, you want to at least make sure that you have the door room, the connector area, so you can actually at least flank. Because if you can't flank and you all come from CT spawn, then it's almost impossible.
When it comes to just like these teams on paper at the moment, I mean, which do you think has more potential? Because people do talk about the simple factor with FlipSid previously, but it also basically hindered Blaze's ability to lead the team, and that's what he's a legend at. That's what he's really known for. And so now potentially maybe we could see him take this team to new heights, even without Simple, just because he's such a good leader. Do you think that's something that FlipSid can rely on, or do you think Mousesports have more potential as a team? Because they do have a lot of skill on that team.
Yeah, I mean, just to base both teams coming into the tournament, I would say that Mousesports have been looking better. To base it off of their 2 games yesterday, I think that both teams looked very sloppy, and they could do a lot better with the talent that they have. So overall, I still feel like Mousesports they have the better team, whereas for FlipSid, they could cause an upset.
Right, they're there to ruin someone's tournament, but not to do all that much more than that.
No, exactly, and especially now for yeah, exactly. I mean, if you look at Mousesports lineup, the 2 players that stands out for me, it used to be Chris J, but I don't really feel that he has too much of an impact anymore. He's still a solid player, but from time to time especially I remember last time I casted Mousesports on this map, I don't think Chris J picked up the op a single time. And it's like, and it was a game where they were losing heavily, and I was just basically waiting on Chris J to pick up. It never happened. But the 2 players is Nex and Nico, they're really good.
And here we go, we're resuming the match now, and we'll get to see what the response is from FlipSid. Looks like they are kind of going for a bit of a foray into Suez, so they have some control here, but will it actually pan out for them?
There we go.
Markloff picks up the kill onto Nico. That's exactly what we were looking for in the response from FlipSid. Now they've got that man advantage, they can play off the advantage in many ways.
Yeah, you see there, like when they get to the entry now, look at the map control they have. They do have 3 guys on the B bomb side. That's okay because they have the control. So if Mousesports were to hit A on that in this scenario, they at least have the room to flank, which they haven't really had before.
That's a really good point actually, and we'll have to see if FlipSid can close, because when all is said and done, it's got to be about those headshots. And right now we see all the grenades raining in onto the A bomb site. So Mousesports really going for the committed play here. They've used up pretty much all the utility, moving next in very, very close now. And here it is, Bondik with the first kill onto Dennis. Next still waiting for somebody to peek. Great stuff there from Bondik though. He's going to take down Next for free. Got B and Chris J though back in with frags of their own. But Bondik is still locking it down, but not for much longer. Chris J with 11 points of health is going to get naded down by Markelov. And that is going to be a pretty solid hold from FlipSid. They do lose 3 players, but at least they close the round and they can start to create some momentum back into this one. And Mousesports starting to struggle on the money a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, look at it this way. If Markov didn't get that entry on Nico, then you're in a situation where if Mousesports were to hit A, like in a 5 versus 5, they still have one member to fight, right? And I don't think they would be able to hold it. So just getting that entry on Nico, just making sure that they don't have that B control, just does so much for them. Even though, yeah, they end up losing players, they ended up winning the round.
Yeah, and I absolutely would not count FlipSid out of this one because now they've got some money going in their favor. They've got a round to play against. Well, they should have been reading the economy of Mousesports, so they should be anticipating what's happening. We can see they're playing pretty passively, so that does definitely show that they're respecting the kind of buy that Mousesports are showing right now. Just that single AK on Gob, actually, interestingly, and not on somebody like Next, which would be the surprise for me, as the Next is definitely arguably the best rifler there with Nico, as previously pointed out. And that's a fantastic little flick there onto Next, straight away off the bat. And there goes Chris J as well. Well did it, doing his job. Great play here with that AWP. And finally he's going to get eliminated by God B. Bondik, though, is there by that truck area. He just wants to hold him off it and buy his team some more space to rotate. He's going to go down, though, to God B. Bit of a fluff nade there, and God B's actually getting it done here. The bomb's going to get planted. Nico misses the AWP shot, but it might not matter, actually. Oh, my God. They actually end up winning that round. Mousesports, it looked like it was going horrendously, but then when Bondik went down, it started, all the cards started falling.
Yeah, World Edit with 2 great entry frags there. The problem for him was that he was completely stuck, and Bondik was just playing it way too safe on the bomb, so you couldn't really help him there. You see here, the 2 frags from World Edit. Here, this one he needs to back up. Instead, he decides to stay and just hope that, you know, they're not coming both ways, right. And Bondik was just holding it, right?
Yeah,
so then
it's like the setup there didn't seem like it was they're playing together at all.
Yeah, no, not exactly. And for FlipSid, you know, forced on a save yet again, they have basically no money, so I think that they should just take your advice, Dan, and go and play some music on the streets.
Yeah, this is pretty much the worst thing that could have happened. Oh my goodness. They're going to have to do something quite desperate as well, because, you know, Mousesports, they should likely pick up this round. Then they're in a 10-2 situation, and FlipSid, they still... Well, I mean, what's their money actually going to look like?
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be pretty, Dan.
Yeah, they're going to be on... They'll be able to buy, but like...
Famas, if they want the nades, you know, yeah. Want the nades and stuff, you know, and Famas probably don't, you know, for teams like these, they shouldn't even buy head armor anyway, so you save 350 there, which is basically a smoke grenade, which is something that can really save you around.
Oh dear. I mean, previously they found a solution in taking sewers, getting the, like, basically beating Nico in that battle as he was moving into position. And I mean, they still haven't. They could try the hyper passive approach. I don't know that that's going to be good against Mousesports. I think Mousesports have been showing that they can really, like, you need to like waste their grenades and make their executes a little bit worse. I think that seems to be something Mousesports are quite strong at. They've proven that they can successfully pick up these site takes with the executes. So here we go. FlipSid with the buy. What's it going to be? Aggression, passivity.
I mean, just for them to try it, because right now, yeah, they only won 2 rounds. They are playing very defensive. At least take a gamble. You don't have to necessarily go aggressive, but maybe just, you know, like boost up in middle with 2 people over the window towards the bathroom area. Have 1 guy holding along, so you have like 3 members stacked within the bathroom area just to hold off Mousesports. And then same scenario there. If they end up, you know, pushing B, then you can flank. We haven't seen FlipSid try to flank a single round. And then all for Mousesports, you know, they only have to look straight, right? They don't really have to care about, you know, oh, is someone coming from behind? Oh, no, they're not. So then it just gives them so much more opportunities to actually end up winning the round, because they have less to focus on.
Yeah, the flanking thing is actually kind of a big deal. There's a Virtus Pro are a team that usually find that to be very effective. They're really good at doing that. It's quite hard to find those timings, but if you've got those kinds of players, it is devastating. And FlipSid, they are going very vanilla with their approach and trying to trust in their basics, but so far has not been delivering. Got Next here with a bit of pressure as he's going to throw the nades over, allow his teammates to get in from Monster Tunnel into that B bomb site. Mousesports with another bomb site take, and again, we're seeing them just systematically, methodically executing into the bomb site, clearing spot after spot, using these grenades, moving in as the team, covering each other. This is good counter-strike out of the German side, as we've got FlipSid moving in for the retake. It's definitely a little bit easier, as we mentioned, but this is going to be a tough one. They're outgunned, and now they're outmanned. Great kill there from Next on the defense, holding it down, forcing the CTs to go closer because of those smokes. This is another well-executed round here from Mousesports. Oh dear, this is not looking good for FlipSid.
Yeah, they're playing really well right now, actually. Just having that one strat, just walking into B, basically, as far as you can. And when you know that, okay, we can't really walk any further now, let's just use our nades. Through 2 or 3 Molotovs on during the B water behind the bomb site, just making sure that they can't even rush up and try to defend the site. So then you actually have to play retake, even if you didn't want to. Getting the bomb down, great hold. And you saw Dennis just making a lot of noise in the middle. He actually ended up getting one, and then it kept World at it, just stuck in CT spawn until Dennis actually pushed. So he was very late to even help out his teammates over to the B bomb site.
Absolutely. This is going to be a really nice feeling for Mousesports, because, of course, Dennis is a little bit poorly at the moment, and he's ill, and Mousesports, they've not been having the best games. They had a series against G2 yesterday, or a map against G2, and that definitely looked like they were out of their comfort zone. But right now, it really feels like they're hitting their stride as a team. That's so important to get those good feels going in, and we'll see a faster round here as Chris J is going to look for that entry of the AWP. He's going to go for the flick. He's going to miss it, and the counter flash is going to start to come into play here for FlipSid. So they have opportunity now. They just have to hit the shots, and there's WorldEdit with the first one. He's going to take down Next. Put him out of the equation, and Nico, now it's up to him by the sandbags area to try to find some more space for his team to move through onto this bomb site take.
That Molotov, though, they're all stuck in there.
This is very interesting right now. Nico will take down Markloff, but the water position could be dangerous, but not to Nico. Takes down Davkost as well, and it's just Bondik and Blade. They've only got P250s, and the bomb is going to go down. There's Chris J as well. Bondik, no Kevlar, just the pistol. Chris J with that Tech 9 over the top. Trying to find the kill, and a lot of damage being done here by Bondik, actually, but finally the Tech 9 and the AK combo will be enough. 12-2 the score now. Massive T-half on overpass from Mousesports.
Yeah, like I said, they're playing so well right now, and for FlipSid, they seem a little bit out of it. Not really for the past few rounds, not really had the economy on their side. Sure, they haven't had the economy on their side throughout the whole game, but winning one round and then end up losing the next one, and it just makes the economy so hard to manage, and you have to make a decision if you want to buy what you have with the money you have, or potentially end up saving one more round, which you can't really afford in this situation. So yeah, I feel for FlipSid, but you have to actually try to do something new here.
Absolutely, and Mousesports going with another just take of map control. Positioning, FlipSid, they're a bit more passive than usual. They have gone for the Suez take, so we see that adjustment is still there for them. However, this time Nico's not going ham in towards Suez and towards Monster Tunnel. He's sticking with the team, he's sticking with the unit. He's actually moving towards the A-long area, and Mousesports really looking for this pick it towards A. Chris J, a lot of pressure. Bondik could make quite a difference here. WorldEdit is going to take down Chris J, so that picking attempt is not going to work here for Mousesports, but there's still plenty of time.
Yeah, and Bondik is a good position. You just stay hidden there for a while. The thing is, when the smoke actually ends up fading, I would love to see a flash coming from WorldEdit so he can actually clear off bathroom.
Okay, wow. WorldEdit is really going to town on these guys right now, and Bondik's found his moment to strike, but it's not going to go too well. And WorldEdit, he's going to get another one. He's looking for that ace at this point, and it's going to be Blade to finish it off. What a steal there onto Next. And that's a great round from WorldEdit, but yeah, is it too little too late? Probably yes.
I mean, yeah, if you want to be positive, then I would always say, yeah, if Mousesports can do it, you can as well. The only thing, and then, the other usual one is, oh yeah, but you got to do it one round at a time. You got to win the pistol. Yeah, of course, you got to win the pistol. You got to win the pistol every round, if you could. Yeah, yeah. But, or every game, but.
You're being realist.
Yes.
Optimistic realist.
Exactly.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, maybe.
That's maybe a thing.
Yeah, but okay, sure. For FlipSid here now, I really hope that they have done their homework on Mousesports. They actually do have an idea on how they play, because this will not be pretty if they haven't.
Oh, that was a double as well, actually.
Yeah, it was
gorgeous. Yeah,
it was nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, WorldEdit going to town. And I mean, WorldEdit's a really good defensive AWPer, actually. He's not necessarily that AWPer you're looking for the kind of JW play style, which is, and I'm using JW as the kind of end of this kind of the polar opposite kind of thing, like super aggressive, you know, back against the wall, kind of Kenny S style, can do anything on the aggression with the AWP. But if he's just sat there, you know, guarding these bomb sites, he can be really dangerous. And we saw a glimpse of it right there. And of course, Chris J, as you mentioned, he's not necessarily coming into play massively for the team. It's definitely been a bit of the Nex and Nico show when it comes to opening up the map. And it's quite cool that Gob has these tools to work with, and in the sense that he's got two big rifler players, two big entry fraggers, you know, just general fraggers, and he can play his default out, and he's like, he can probably say, okay, I'm imagining that one of these guys, if I put them in the right positions, they're gonna create something, and if they don't, then we can move together and make an execute based on the information we have. Feels like that was the game plan there from Mousesports. It really seemed to work.
Yeah, I mean, so far on this map on the T side for Mousesports, I feel like Gob has actually really done his homework in terms of his own players. Like, okay, what do these players excel at? What can we do so we make them, you know, we make them shine? And for Nico, you know, he was just hitting that B bombs, like getting those entries again and again. And then you have Nex, you know, being the second man in, just clean up house basically, just being a complete madman. I mean, 23 frags in the first half, insane.
Yeah. We can see, you know, the Nex and Bondik thing here. Bondik is one of these. Bondik was always my kind of favorite FlipSid player, even in the sorry.
Can you pronounce Bondik's name?
No, probably not. What about you?
I mean, I could try. The thing is, I think it looks so cool.
It does look pretty badass.
It looks like pork chop. Vladislav Nechiporchuk. I nailed that.
That's probably pretty good.
I think I nailed that.
I'm a Brit, man. I don't know how to do this stuff. Come on.
I nailed that.
I'll do next though. Johannes Maggot. Maggot.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But Bondik, he was always one of my favorite FlipSid players, if not one of my favorite players, kind of underlooked guy, generally speaking, because he's always so good in the defensive spots on CT. He used to be so reliable. He was, I think, the most reliable rifler for FlipSid for the longest time in the CT sides, which was something that they used to struggle on. So he was so important for them because of that, because you could rely on putting the guy in the really hard positions, like for example, just outside of the drop into B, for example, on cobblestone. This position where you got to look right, you got to look left, you got to be very cognizant of where all your teammates are moving. A lot of things that play, like, you know, playing the kind of Crim's position on Mirage, like you're on the stairs. You got to worry about mid, you got to worry about Palace, you got to worry about all kinds of things, and that's what Bondik's great at, getting those multi kills in those really hard spots.
Well, yeah, I completely agree. And one thing to note as well, when FlipSid had Simple on their team, Bondik was a little bit on the, you know, on the sidewalk a little bit. You know, he was always the most stable player.
Yeah.
But he was never